Welcome to the Inner Entrepreneur. I'm Paul Ryan, and in today's podcast, I want to talk about a secret to success that it seems to me is almost never spoken about. Now, when I mention success, most people think of financial success. So they think of how much money you earn, what your net worth is, what home you live in, what car you drive. They think of all the material aspects of success. But that's only one aspect of success. If you have financial success, but don't have your health, then you won't get to enjoy your success. If you have financial success but don't have any close personal relationships, then your life is probably feeling meaningless. If you have financial success and you don't have emotional and mental well being, well, then you're probably in some degree of a state of suffering. And whatever emotional state you're in is how you experience life. So, again, your money is pretty useless to you. To live a good life and to really be successful, we need to be successful in all areas of our life, not just financial. Now, I get it. When you mention success, everyone thinks of money. And that's because money is the one thing that it appears that 95% of the population never have enough of. So when you speak to people, almost everyone says, yes, they'd love more money, but only about 5% of people ever fall into the category of some degree of wealth. And of that 5%, only a small percentage of that ever have wealth and time freedom. So they have their financial independence and they have the time to enjoy it. So it makes sense that when people think of success, they think of that which most people want and most people don't have. But success to me is your ability to create a great life. And a great life is whatever you decide a great life is for you. So that's how I define success. What's the life you'd love to live? And how successful are you in creating that life? So, the principle I want to talk to you about today is fundamental in success in any area of your life. So, whether that is your health, your relationships, your career, your finances, it makes no difference. This fundamental principle is present in everyone who has been successful in all of these areas. And I call this the principle of narrow and deep. So think of it like this. We all have a huge amount of choice, possibility, and opportunity available to us today. And with all these choices, with all these distractions, with all these possibilities, it can be difficult to narrow in on what's really important to you. But the principle of narrow and deep says that you have to start by figuring out what really is important to you and what you really want. That's the principle of going narrow. Now, think of this. Maybe at the moment you know 50 people between family, friends, acquaintances, colleagues. Well, of those 50 people, how many people really matter to you? Now, maybe you'd go five, maybe it's 10 if you're in a large family, but let's say five of those people really, really matter to you. Now, how we know that is that if of those 50 people, I left you with those five people in your life and removed the other 45, well, you could probably remain perfectly happy and live a very fulfilled and meaningful life. But if we reverse that, and of the 50 people, we took away the five people who are most important to you and left you with the other 45 people, you would probably be very unhappy with that choice and live a very unhappy, unfulfilled life. Because of those 50 people, only five people are really close to you and really matter. You see, in every aspect of our life, it's the same. If you look at the people who are the most financially successful, who have built big businesses or great careers, what you find is that they have chosen a very small niche to specialize in. Normally, it's something they have found that they have competence for, they're good at, they probably enjoy, and that they found through experience that they can be successful at. So once they have that little formula, they go, well, there's loads of choices. There's lots of things I can do, but I've realized I'm good at this and it gets me good results. So now I'm going to focus 90% of my effort on this. I'm going to forget about everything else. The secret to success in business is having that focus in doing what you know you can be successful at and focusing on it and forgetting about all the other distractions. But if you look at the most successful sports people, the most successful creators and artists, it doesn't matter. People who are the most successful in relationships, they follow that exact same principle of going narrow. They go, this is what matters to me, and this is where I'll focus. So they focus on what really matters, on what's really important, and they almost entirely exclude everything else. And that is the first step to the principle of narrow and deep, that you select that top 5 or 10% of what really matters to you. And the second step to the principle is that once you know what really matters in all of those areas of life, once you know what really matters, now you create a strategy, an action plan, a daily routine that allows you to focus on the things that really matter. Because once you do that, once you have step one and step two, you know what really matters and you've created a life plan to enable you to live what really matters. Now you are on the road to having a really successful and fulfilled life. And now you are tapping into the secret that almost no one ever speaks about. You see, there's so many success principles available to you. And I'm sure lots of them are very valuable, but they're useless unless you get the first principle of going narrow and deep correct. Because you're applying principles, scattergun approach to everything, and that will get you nowhere. But once you know exactly what you want to do and you've created a plan to do that, now applying any success principles you need to do that will have an enormously positive effect. So, to get value from this episode, what I would love you to do is sit down with a pen and paper and figure out what really matters to you in each area of life. And once you've figured that out, start creating the plan of how you can devote your life to these things. And once you've done that, you're on the path to mastering the principle of narrow and deep. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And if you did, please like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends. It really helps the show grow. Until next time, thank you and have a great day.